Yo, what's up, guys? In this video, we're going to cover the story of this guy, Dimitri Stuzhuk. Stuzhuk, dead of coronavirus after telling followers it wasn't real. So, this is blowing up on social media, the news right now, about how this guy, super fit guy, very good looking guy, fitness model, Dimitri Stuzhuk, I think he's Ukrainian, how he recently died very suddenly from complications after testing positive for coronavirus or COVID or whatever it is. I say it like that, and you'll see why in a second, but the whole, this is an important topic, I think, because the whole idea here with coronavirus, what are people saying? It's 99.7% survival rate, across all demographics. I don't know, you guys have all read the statistics, but it's not, it appears to not really be that deadly. And all of these numbers are inflated about the 200 deaths in the United States. It's very, if you have half a brain, it's very obvious that there's a concentrated push by major media outlets, of which Yahoo Entertainment is one. They're all coordinating this narrative about how coronavirus is really bad, it's really deadly, and the implication is that and it's hitting the United States so hard because Trump didn't react fast enough. Oh, it just happens to be an election year. Oh, it just happens to be an election in, 2 weeks now? It's October 19th. I don't really know when it happens. I don't give a fuck about politics. But the point is that you need to kind of look at everything through that lens, right? You can't divorce this incident from the circumstances under which it occurs. Okay, so definitely a tragedy. We lost one of our own, but let's just look at, I guess, the article, and then we'll look at this guy's Instagram page because he had 1.1 million followers. And then I'll give my opinion, I guess, on it. Coronavirus has taken another life. I hate the media so much. Passed away at age of 33 after suffering complications related to COVID-19. Blah, blah, blah. His wife said something. Who cares? We're no longer together. All right. You are our guardian angel and your love will always protect us, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then he wrote a little... so basically what happens is that he went to Turkey for a 10-day trip. Single guy, jacked, went to Turkey for a 10-day trip, came back, wasn't feeling well, went to the hospital, and got put on oxygen, was at the hospital for I think a week or something, and then went home. And then after going home, he was rushed back to the hospital and died. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this. What did he say here? Did I miss anything? No. Coronavirus, COVID, day 8. He began his caption in Russian, which has also been translated to English. As you all know from stories, I am sick with coronavirus. Okay, I went to the Russian accent. Today, after returning home for the first time, there was an enthusiasm for at least writing something. I want to share how I got sick and convincingly warn everyone. I also thought there was no COVID until I got sick. According to The Sun, the fitness influencer contracted COVID-19 during a trip to Turkey and was treated in his native Ukraine. The social media sensation also touched on this in his Instagram post, writing, I felt bad on the second day in Turkey. I woke up in the middle of the night because my neck was swollen and it was hard to breathe. At the same time, my stomach ached a little. Interesting. The next day, a cough began to appear, but there was no temperature. There were no particular symptoms of the disease either, so I thought that these could be consequences after playing sports, changing the climate and nutrition, and plus sleeping under air conditioning. He continued, after returning from Turkey, I immediately went to take various tests, do an ultrasound scan, and just in case decided to take a COVID test. It turned out to be positive. So let's look at all these things. All right. The flight from Ukraine to Turkey is not that long. So we can't really, I don't think we can count that under a stressor of this guy's body. Now, here's the thing. The dude's a fitness model, but if you look at this picture of him, looks like he's off cycle. This does not look like a dude who is on steroids right now. But if we look at his Instagram, most of these pictures here, the dude is, well, these are actually not so great. These are probably natty in these too. Anyway, there's a lot of pictures of him here on something. It's like he falls into the category of like achievable natty, but probably not natty, basically. Doesn't look too roided out in these ones. Here we go. Now we're starting to get a little juicy in these. So all right, so I went actually all the way back to 2018. Let's go back a little bit less far. So looking pretty jacked here. September 21st. You can kind of not so jacked. Oh yeah. So anyway, the point is this: he's off cycle, right? Which can affect your immune system. It can, right? You take a cycle of steroids, or I don't know, is he blasting and cruising, like what he's doing, but he's a fitness influencer. So he's either on gear for life, he's just committed to it because now it's part of his livelihood and he can't really go off of it because he's a fitness model. Even me, not as a fitness model, but like once you post pictures of yourself online jacked, and once you become like the jacked guy or the ripped guy, it's hard to ever post another picture of yourself where you're not jacked, right? Like I understand, I don't even make money from it. I don't have 1 million followers, but if I did, and like I feel the pressure on me to like not post pictures of myself not looking fucking yoked, right? So I can only imagine what it would be like for this guy. Clearly didn't really care with this one, but anyway, the point is that the guy, he is using substances that can potentially negatively affect his health. Is he doing it in the most optimized, amazing, like more plates, more dates, fucking scientific way? Maybe. Probably not. I don't think so. If I was forced to make a bet, I would bet no. But anyway, the point is that he is traveling, right? He is off cycle. What else did he say here? Playing sports. I don't know what sports he was playing. It's possible that if he hasn't played sports in a long time, I'm guessing soccer. I don't really know what sport this guy would play, but looks like he might play soccer. Those sports can get pretty physical if you haven't played sports in a long time, because soccer or most sports are like high intensity activities, short bursts of high intensity. It's possible that can also be very stressful in your system. Changing the climate and nutrition, right? So what does that mean? Eating like shit, basically. Going to a place where, I guess Turkey is hotter than Ukraine. So changing the climate is also, not good. And sleeping under air conditioning, right? So here we have, he's off cycle, potentially stressing his body quite a bit from high intensity sports. The dude does not look like he is fucking, and this is like at the MySpace angle. You know what I mean? This is like at the perfect angle to make him not look like shit. And he still doesn't look, I don't see any really definition here. Not looking good, bro. No offense, like respect for the dead, but like off cycle, not in shape really. Change the climate, eating like shit, sleeping under air conditioning. Okay, so 5 things here to weaken your immune system. I immediately went to take various tests and do an ultrasound just in case, and decided to a COVID test. So pain in the neck was swollen, probably from an injury, from what he was, from his, like from whatever sports he was playing. Sounds like what it was. Tweaked his neck or something. Was hard to breathe. Could possibly be a swollen lymph node from a weakened immune system. Dimitri explained he took a CT scan and was later prescribed treatment and began to insist on hospitalization. Prescribed treatment. They do not say what that was. Maybe antibiotics. Could be antibiotics. They don't say what that is. There's another story because now there are renovations going on. The hospital is completely filled with people. Some of them live in the corridor. There is no food, no paper, no cutlery either. Jesus. So now he's in a dirty hospital in fucking Ukraine. Hospitals in the United States are pretty shady. No offense to any medical professionals, but some of them, you don't want to go to those hospitals. And just imagine what it's like in fucking Ukraine. Prescribed treatment. So let's make a list, I guess, of all of these things, all right? Factors that negatively affect immune system. High, off cycle, steroids, high intensity sports, when body is deconditioned. Sorry, I should have done this before. Oh well. drastic change in climate. Turkey versus Ukraine. Lapse in, or I guess, poor nutritional choices when on vacation. Sleeping under air conditioning. Treatment at hospital. I'm assuming, what is treatment? I'm thinking antibiotics. I'm thinking that's what they gave him. Most likely antibiotics, right? Antibiotics, by the way, are like, if you're gonna die and your choice is like antibiotics or death, I would say, yeah, okay, go with the antibiotics. But I have a very popular video when I took ciprofloxacin, something like that, which is a hydroquinone that they gave me in Thailand when I had a UTI. And like, I felt like shit after taking it. And I was like, why do I feel so bad? Like, is it possible these are like not good for you? These antibiotics? Like, it's antibiotics. Is it possible that this is like something bad that is doing bad things to my body? So I researched it, and apparently these hydroquinolones are some of the most toxic substances on the planet. Like, the most toxic substance on the planet that you can ingest into your body. Nobody should ever take these. Again, like I said, if you're maybe going to die, honestly, even if you're going to die, I wouldn't take them, really. Like, find something else. You can find something else. This shit fucking nukes your immune system. And they just fucking hand it out in Thailand like it's candy. They're like, oh, you have a UTI? Here, take this. What is it? I don't know. It says antibiotics on it. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You're a tourist. Like, you're all right. If you die, you're not a problem anyway. It's just crazy how, like, the modern medicine, they just don't give a fuck. They just actually do not give a fuck about you, which is a shame. But anyway, I digress. So, yeah, antibiotics, not good for you, bro. Not good. I don't know if that's what they gave him. A lot of the times in hospitals, when you're sick with something and they don't know what it is, they'll just fucking give you antibiotics anyway. They're like, well, a lot of times viral infections are people, because like the patient wants something. Antibiotics are not going to do a shit for a virus, right? But you're like, oh, give me something. I need something. Doctor's like, all right, fine. Here's some antibiotics. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know if that's what happened here. There's no like, these are his words. We don't know exactly what was prescribed. I doubt that they would disclose that information anyway. He began to insist on hospitalization. And here we see him with an oxygen mask on, okay? There's another story. Okay, and then not only that, hospital has renovations. Hospital under renovations. I don't know what that means, like lots of dust maybe. Possible dust in the air can affect your breathing. People were like, the corridors were filled, too many sick, or let's see, overcrowded, poorly staffed. Right, so like there's something that I read a statistic once that a lot of deaths from people in hospitals are due to like doctor or nurse error, where they'll give somebody some sort of medication that they're not supposed to have, or they'll like give somebody the wrong medication meant for somebody else and it'll kill them, you know, stuff like that. It happens, you know, people like amputating the wrong leg and shit like that. Like tons of fucked up shit happens in hospitals that you don't hear about for obviously reasons, you know. Like, you go to the hospital because you're, like, desperate for help. And then they, you know, because they're, and it's probably, I'm not saying it's because they're callous or stupid. It's like they're overworked. They work 12-hour shifts, you know. A lot of times they work more than 12 hours. They're overworked. They're exhausted. It's not easy. Some of them live in the corridor. No food, no paper, no cutlery. Nobody warned me about this. Fitness guru also described his treatment in detail, sharing they gave me an oxygen apparatus for breathing since I have low oxygen level. Although I think it is critical after 90, for me 94, 96 is quite permissible for treatment at home. The doctor in the waiting room told me the same thing. So I don't really know what this means, right? They gave him an oxygen apparatus for breathing. So he's saying that once your oxygen level drops below, I think this means 90%. Right? And I looked this up, hypoxemia. Normal arterial oxygen is approximately 75 to 100 milliliters of mercury. Values under 60 millimeters usually indicate the need for supplemental oxygen. Normal pulse oximeter readings usually range from 95 to 100. Values under 90% are considered low. Okay, so I think that's what he's referring to. He probably Googled the same shit. Where's my fucking... Where was that? Oh, here we go. All right. So low oxygen level. Where is that? Here. Low oxygen level. Number 9. So I don't know how long he was on oxygen. I don't know if you go on oxygen. Do you stay on oxygen 24 hours a day? Is that how it works? Do you only do it when you need it? It could be bad to stay on oxygen that long. I'm just thinking logically here, right? Let's say because your body can get used to like extremely high levels of oxygen, so that it will kind of like weaken whatever mechanism in your body filters out the oxygen from the rest of the stuff that you breathe in the air. Because when you breathe in the world, you're not breathing pure oxygen. You're breathing oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, whatever, and your body uses the oxygen to do, to oxygenate your blood and fucking all this other shit. So it's possible, what I think happened, I could be wrong, I'm not sure. All right, he explained he did end up being treated at home after feeling it was more convenient and comfortable. Okay, so, oops, not that one. Low oxygen level. Well, all right, so he goes home. He goes home after being there for, I want to say like a week. Did I imagine that he was there for a week? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't say how long he was there. I feel like I read, oh yeah, day 8. Today, after returning home for the first time, there was enthusiasm for at least writing something. Yeah, I'm not really sure if that means he was 8 days in the hospital or if he was just sick for 8 days. I'm not sure. Okay, so next one, he goes home, rushed back to the hospital. She revealed that the fitness star had problems with his cardiovascular system. His heart is not coping. His state is extremely grave. No one can do anything with this. And then he dies. All right, so what I think happened, what it sounds like happened, is that he goes home and then has a heart attack. I guess that's a heart attack, right? So he died from a heart attack. Okay, he didn't die from COVID. He died from a heart attack. So here we have a guy who has been doing steroids for years, is either off cycle or just hasn't been working out, right? Steroids negatively affect your heart, right? Negatively affect your cholesterol levels and negatively affect your heart. They can cause organ growth, enlarged heart, especially if you abuse them for years on end, like a fitness influencer might conceivably do. So you have a guy, he has heart issues already. Like this little comment right here from his wife, she revealed that the fitness star had problems with his cardiovascular system. Does that mean that she, is this a full quote here? His heart is not coping, meaning that okay, so does this mean he had problems with his cardiovascular system, like he had problems before, like he used to have problems also, or that currently he was having problems, right? Because this is stated in the past tense. All right, but anyway, if you look at pictures of this guy from before, he's looking very veiny. Like he's got a lot of weird veins. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at Wes Watson. He's jacked, but the dude has too many veins. It's like why do you have so many veins and why are they so big? And why do you have a giant fucking vein across your chest? Why do you need so much blood? Why is that vein so big that you need so much blood going to wherever the fuck that vein goes? It makes me think that there's something wrong. Is it? I think it's this picture. You see all the veins on this guy's abs? Those are veins, right? What is that? These are, or are those? Because that's not a muscle right there. Can I make this bigger? These are veins, right? So I feel like when you have that many veins in your body, that's not good. When you have a lot of veins like that. Because the reason that the veins get so big is because your heart is, your body is, your muscles are getting so big, I guess, and your heart needs to transport more blood to those muscles. So it causes the veins to get bigger. Which theoretically, I guess that would be good, right? To have bigger muscles, but it means that your heart is going to have to work harder. which can potentially cause your heart to get enlarged, or something called athlete's heart, which is where people who don't even do steroids, their heart gets bigger. Which can, when the heart is bigger, it makes it harder for the heart to pump blood, because it's like if you're a bigger person, it's harder for you to run, for example, than a smaller person. So it's kind of the same logic. So then let's add here like enlarged heart, possibly enlarged heart from chronic steroid use. Lots of not inappropriate veins, but like veins in weird places. I can't think of the right word. Okay, so what else here? All right, so first of all, he died from a heart attack. That's number one. Didn't die from COVID. Number two, I mean, look, here's how you have to look at the whole thing. All right, so this is for him. Okay. Factors that negatively affect the immune system, and then we can add to that, right? Let's say like, I don't know, issues with credibility of news source. Okay. And this is like tinfoil hat stuff. Honestly, when I read this, I was like, man, maybe somebody just fucking killed this guy and is blaming on COVID. Like 2 weeks away from the election. There's a lot at stake, What's one fucking Ukrainian fitness influencer's life to the CIA? Like, what do they care? You know what I mean? Or whoever's fucking pulling these strings. Issues with credibility of the news source. Story syndicated through mainstream media, heavily biased towards like doomsday COVID reporting. No mention in articles about low death rate of COVID. No mention in articles about what would I say, like potential pre-existing conditions. So no mention about that. Wording of art. Okay. Headline, body of articles. What am I trying to say? Like, they're designed to they're like gotcha moments. Like, this guy said that coronavirus didn't exist, then he died. But how do I explain what that is in a sentence? Written as gotcha statements to refute, support the hypothesis that COVID is really as bad as the media says it is. I hate the media so much. I hate this world we live in. When did it get so shitty? It's terrible. All right, so that's basically like when you look at all of these factors together, and another thing, right? I really should make this infographic better. Okay, another thing. Other considerations. Still doesn't change the chronic or the 99.7% survival rate. Doesn't change that. One guy died. Sucks for him. Doesn't change the fact that most people don't die. Start there. Doesn't change that. What else? There was another one. Where's my coffee? Doesn't change the fact there's a 99.9% survival rate. Where are all the if COVID is so deadly for fit people, where are all the dead fit people. Really, that's what I want to say. Like, where are they? You know, I remember because a lot of these stories will get posted on 4chan's Fitboard, and I remember there was one with this like, I think this guy was even like a writer for the Washington Post or something, and it was this like roided out gay dude, and he posted 2 selfies next to each other of him like, you know, fucking eyes bulging like roided to the gills, and another one of him like with a fucking tube going into his chest or something, like 50 pounds lighter. And it's like, okay, there's that guy, and then that gay guy who died in Miami. I don't know if he was gay. Maybe he was. I don't know. But if COVID is so deadly for fit people, where are all the dead fit people? Like, I don't know. Where are all the dead people from COVID anyway? 200,000 people. That is what, like 1% of Americans, let's say. A little bit less than 1%. 0.5% or something. That means that out of every 200 people that you know, you should know at least one person who died from COVID, who's not fucking 100 years old. All right? Anyway, when we look at all of these things together, right? We look at all of this stuff. Is it possible? Is it possible that COVID is really that deadly and like it's killing healthy people left and right? Or we've got a guy, he does a lot of steroids, his heart might be affected by that. Oh, and also low oxygen level. I forgot to say this, right? Low oxygen level, what I think might have happened when taken off oxygen, the stress, his heart might have been extra stressed, leading to a heart attack. Right, that's what I wanted to say here. That's where I was going with this. That's what I think happened, right? So anyway, he's off cycle. He goes on vacation, plays some high intensity sports with friends when he's deconditioned and off cycle. There's a drastic change in the climate. Turkey's hot, Ukraine is cold. He's making poor nutritional choices when he's on vacation. God knows what he's eating. Probably drinking a lot of alcohol. Possible. He is fucking Ukrainian after all. Sleeping under air conditioning, which if any of you have done that can be very not fun. It can make you sick or can weaken your immune system and make you more susceptible to what you have. Treatment at the hospital that he was given, most likely antibiotics, which will fuck you up. Hospitals under renovations. Possibly there's dust in the air, which will affect your breathing. It's overcrowded. Could have caught something from some other fucking sick people there, and it's poorly staffed, meaning that these people are overworked and they might have given him the wrong medication, and they might have misdiagnosed his fucking COVID test, and they might have just given a fake result for the COVID test. Also possible. Low oxygen level, when he's taken off the oxygen, who knows how long he was on oxygen for, your body gets used to inhaling large amounts of oxygen, which puts less stress on your already stressed out heart. His heart might have been extra stressed, leading to a heart attack, which is why he died, unfortunately. And his already possibly enlarged heart from chronic steroid use, as evidenced by all of his veins in strange places, despite not having a large amount of muscle mass, at least from that one picture that I saw. Then we've got the issues with the credibility of the news source or sources. The story is syndicated through the mainstream media, which is heavily biased towards doomsday COVID reporting. There's no mention in these same articles about the low death rate of COVID. There's no mention in the articles about potential pre-existing conditions for Dimitri. The headline and the body of articles are written as gotcha statements designed to support hypothesis that COVID is really as bad as the media says it is. COVID has killed another person. This super fit guy is dead. He told everyone that COVID didn't exist. Other considerations. Still doesn't change that there's the fact that there's a 99.7% survival rate of COVID across all demographics when you control for pre-existing conditions. And if COVID is so deadly for fit people, where are all the dead fit people at? Other than those 3 that I heard about. Where are they? Where? By the way, mainstream media, CIA, everybody, please don't kill me with COVID. I already had it. I got the antibodies, bitch. You got to come up with some other thing for me. Plus, I only have like 4,000 subscribers. Nobody listens to anything I say anyway. And the icing on the cake. It's an election year, bitch. You know. It's become very apparent that the other side, let's call them, you have Trump and you have the other side, which has revealed themselves It's crazy. Like, this coronavirus shit has revealed it. I don't want to get too into this. This video is probably like 30 minutes already. But the other side, Democrats, mainstream media, major tech companies, all these fucking celebrities, all these journalists, all these news outlets, fucking Amazon, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, fucking crazy. They're all pushing this shit. Every single one of them. They are fucking on. They're not just on board. It's, you can't just say anymore that it's like they're just doing it to get customers or keep their customers happy or for money. They're like, they have a vested interest in making this shit last as long as possible and make it seem like it is as bad as possible. And it's fucking scary, dude. Like, I'm at the point now, I don't even want to release this video. I kind of just want to sit quietly in my room and, like, you know, talk about other stuff. But anyway, what do you guys think about my little theory? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.